Hi guys, I'm coming to you from sunny Perth, WA in Australia. It is super sunny and warm today. We've almost hit 30 degrees centigrade, so I'm not sure actually what that is over for you guys in America. I'm just going to have a quick sneak peek and see what that would be for you guys. What would it be? I should have thought of this before I started recording, but I didn't, because planning ahead doesn't appear to be my forte today. Temperature, alright, so it is equivalent to 86 where you guys are, so we're sitting around there. I've just turned on the aircon because I don't want it to be clammy and sweaty while I make the first video in forever. So I got some new threads in today because I've been designing with the new DMC colours, so we're talking like the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, so on and so forth, the ones that were most recently released, because they're really beautiful shades of grey and they're fairly important as far as designing goes. The more colours we can get in there the better, because it becomes more real. So I finally got that shipment in, so I've bagged them all up. This is how I store my floss, in little Ziploc baggies. So I'm just going to bring out, ooh, I'm losing them, bring out a couple. So these are in store too, so you can buy these now if you need them. So there they are. They're pretty. That's one. So I think from memory that's Silk Tan, that one. I thought I would cheat the system, and rather than wait for the shipment to come in, I would just poke down to the local haberdashery store and grab some, and remembered why I hate going there so much. I'm not going to name the store, but it is our local one, and it was really unpleasant. It's quite a big chain, and I went in, and of course all the floss that they had was in disarray, and the colours I wanted weren't there, gone for whatever reason. So I desperately look for someone to help me, and I find a lady, and I'm like, hey, and she sneers at me. Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting your day, but I'm pretty sure you're here to help me. I'm a customer. So anyway, I don't let it get to me, and I say, oh, I'm looking for these colours, so but there's none on this shelf. Do you think you've got any out back? And she almost rolls her eyes at me, and she's like, I don't know, you'll have to go to the balloon counter, they'll know. I'm like, oh, okay. She doesn't show me where to go or anything, so lucky I know the store. So I go to the balloon counter, and without word of a lie, two people behind that counter, and both of them ignored me. I was standing right there, and I waited, and they knew I was there. They looked at me and then just kept on going about their business, and I went, excuse me. Yeah. And I'm like, this is what I'm looking for. And they go, look, if I were to go out back, I'd never be able to find what you want in amongst the thousands of boxes we've got there. So if they're not on the shelf, I don't know. And that was it. And I'm like, this is literally why I don't come here. What a horrible experience. There's a lady who sneered at me for, God forbid, I asked her to help me. And then the two behind the counter ignored me on purpose, because clearly shuffling papers was more important. And when I did ask, she wasn't even willing to go out back and check the boxes, because apparently it's absolute chaos in their back end warehouse. So I leave feeling like, I've totally wasted half an hour that it took me to drive there, and it would take me to drive home. And I go, there's one other store, I'm just going to ring them. So I gave them a buzz. They're the only other place sort of in Perth bar a speciality store, and I think we have one speciality store in Perth that I could get what I wanted from. So I've rung them, and I've gone, look, before I do like a half-hour drive one way, can you just tell me, do you have DMCs 1, 2, 3? And I listed them off, and she goes, what? And I go, oh, these. And she's like, oh, do you mean 1018? And I'm like, no, I mean DMC 1. Well, they don't even exist. And I'm like, they do. They were released last year. No, we don't have anything below the hundreds. Oh. You get, oh, well, we're part of a large chain, so I don't really know. Deep breath. So I come home, and I'm like, I'll just have to wait for my order to come in before I can start my new pattern. But it really drove home for me the experience. It wasn't very pleasant, and they weren't nowhere wanted to help me. They either didn't want to help me, or they had no idea that it even existed. Now I get that cross stitch isn't as big as quilting, let's just use that as an example here, but if you're going to sell the stuff, you kind of need to know it to sell it. So that was a really disheartening experience, and as a local myself, I'm definitely going to look at better ways of helping like my local city as far as like stocking goes, because I'm predominantly currently online only. So we're going to see what we can do about that, because I don't want other people having that experience. That's not a good experience. And I think if I wasn't as committed and dedicated to cross stitch as I currently am, that as someone who was new to it or considering it or still learning, that would put me off from stitching at all. What do I do? Where do I go? No one wants to help me. Nobody even knows what I'm talking about. And if I had been new to it and that other store had said those colours don't exist, I would have just automatically assumed Unconventional Cross Stitch is selling dodgy patterns, because these colours don't exist. They do. They definitely exist. I have them right here. And by the way, the pinks are like gorgeous. I'm not normally a pink person, but they're so subtle and they're, what's the word, pastel. Oh, gorgeous. So anyway, that's my negativity for the day. So I've got those colours in, which means, oh, where's my picture gone? There it is. You know, the sun's caught it and faded the top part, but never mind. The sun here is brutal. Look what the sun did. Can you see? Not really. You know what? It doesn't actually look too bad there, but the top half, the lighting in here is not great. I don't have professional lighting, but it's turned the top part of my logo green. So the lighting's not kind at all to cross stitch. Anyway, so that's, I've got the floss for this one called Skull from My Enemies. So I thought it was a really cool Viking-y piece, and it's sort of like a cup, so I thought that was really awesome. So I'm going to do that one. I've got my floss now, so I can start it. And the tension's no good because I haven't got my other Dubalakis in, but it's sort of like a very pale, it looks really bright in this light, but it's not. It's a quite a pale blue. I'd call it a sky blue. It's the only piece of fabric I really have that's going to fit it at the moment without using something fancy and expensive, and I just wanted to do a quick cheap stitch, I'll call it. That's what I was looking for. So that's what I've got going on there. And now, disclaimer, there is the SHIT word in this one, but I designed this one today. It is Monday here in Australia, and I really feel now that school term is back in, that Monday to Friday is a real struggle because you're no longer free to get up when you want. So I thought I'd have a bit of a giggle, and I made that. So the shit days represent Monday to Friday, and then you've got Saturday and Sunday, and I've done like a really simple cute little border around there. So I've done that one, and I'm going to stitch that. It's quite little, so I don't need a lot of fabric, so I have to do my skull first though, because yeah, I've only got so many. Well, actually no, I've got lots of frames now, so I could technically frame this up. Hubby would kill me if I had that many floating around though, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it's got a really simple border. So again, the lighting's not great. So the rude word days were red, and Saturday and Sunday is orange, and then I've got like a little purple, green and blue border that's around the edge with back stitched borderline as well. So yeah, I'm hoping to stitch that one soon, but I really love that you can, you know, change up the colours and do whatever you feel like. So it could even be like a neglected floss thing, like you've got spare pieces of floss, you don't even know where it came from, what DMC number it is, or it's a hand-dyed one, who knows? If you've got floss laying around and you've got enough of it, you'd be able to do like one of these little patterns where colouring isn't so important, you're more free to pick as you choose. So, excuse me. Second coffee of the day. I know, I'm running late. It's 1:14 and it's only my second coffee of the day. What's wrong with me? Anyway, so let's show you. Now this guy will have changed heaps. Oh, I hit the keyboard. I hope I didn't hit anything important. Again, it's looking really blue, but that's just the lighting in this room. One of these days maybe I'll afford professional lighting and it'll make my skin look flawless and I'll be like, woo! Anyway, so this is where I'm at. I'm just going to pull you out so you can see. So it's coming along really well, and I've popped in now my little picture of it. The picture isn't very accurate because my old printer had a hernia and started giving everything a red tint, so that's been moved on. It only did it on photos. I don't know why. but the brand and the particular model was known for doing it, so they didn't really do anything about it, and I decided to get rid of it and upgrade, and I'm really happy so far with my upgraded one. So here we are. This is where we're up to. Now, this little part of the face, I made a big boo-boo. I have 153 and 154 are in there, and 153 is quite a nice pale pink. I'd say pink. Yeah, nice pale pinky. Oh, it's going to fall over now. Quite a nice pale pink, and 154 is a really deep pinky purple, so complete polar opposites. Now 153 should have been at the very front of my floss box, so when I looked at the symbol, not the number, I went, oh, I know that symbol, that's the first one in the box. I just grabbed it and I was stitching, and the whole time I was stitching what I thought was 153, it looked wrong. I'm like, this doesn't look like it fits. It's really sticking out like a sore thumb. This isn't right. But fought my instinct and really wish I hadn't, because I finished an entire page doing it and then realized it should have been 153 and I was doing it with 154. So lesson learnt, Jody, don't go by symbols. Make sure you double check the number. Could have saved myself. So it took me 3 hours to frog it all and pull it all out and get the and can I say, what a nightmare, because the rest of the page had been stitched and I had to try and unpick and then quickly stitch the actual colour in before I couldn't actually see the gap anymore and got lost, and then ended up with like all these random gaps that I probably wouldn't notice until it was framed. Yeah, so what a nightmare. It cost me hours. I'd say 2 days worth of stitching went into repairing my whoopsie. So the temptation to vlog it, or rather Flosstube it, was overwhelming, but I would have sworn a lot and been pretty negative and grumpy about it, so I decided not to, which was probably for the best. So yeah, school's gone back, first day back today, so it's really quiet and it's really, well, you know, I was going to say nice. It's nice that I can work uninterrupted, but at the same time I do miss them, so, you know, I'll be more productive, but I'll maybe be a little bit lonely. What else have we got going on? I'm trying to think now. I mean, it's been so long since I oh! A stitch-a-thon. So I promised myself I wouldn't do any events other than the monthly work in progress. So on our Facebook group, every month I go through all the pictures that have been uploaded, and we need 3 people to participate because otherwise it's not really much of a competition. And I sort of add all those names into a random name picker, and then someone wins like normally around $5 to spend in the website store. So, you know, if you're keen to do something like that, yeah, it's super fun. All you have to do is upload your unconventional cross stitch work in progress and you're in for the month. So have a look at that. I will put all my links in the description below. So we've got that. We've also got the Stitch-a-thon in March, so that's going to be super fun. So each week of March we're going to do something small. There's lots of little mini events. So week 1 is you do 10 stitches, and week 2 is 100 stitches, and week 3 is 200 stitches, and then week 4 is the big event where you stitch your heart out and do as many X's as you possibly can. Now, the mini events, whatever, if you don't want to do them, that's fine. Even if the main event isn't for you and you rather just do the mini events, go for it. I mean, there's a prize for the mini events as well as the main event, so go nuts, do as much or as little as you'd like. We'd love to see you participate, and we've got like a really cool prize as the main prize for the Stitch-a-thon. So I don't know if you can see, wrong arm, in the background, that tote bag, but on the event itself, and it's a public event, so you can go check it out. I'll also link that in. That's what I'm giving away, is a large tote bag, so you know, you can proudly trundle around. It's environmentally friendly too. I really love being environmentally friendly. That bag behind me goes everywhere with me. It's my shipping bag, so I'll do shipping and then go grocery shopping as well. So, you know, I'll chuck crackers and bickies and naughty things that I probably shouldn't be eating. But yeah, so I love these bags. Like, they're so awesome, and they're not hurting the environment. So anybody who knows me, they're like, oh, she's such a hippie. Like, it's all about the recycling and the taking care of the earth thing. I mean, even my printer is EcoTank, so I don't use any ink cartridges at all. It's just, where are they? Move my bubble wrap and show you. So they're like, that's how the ink comes, and then I just fill it. So there is some waste, but it's nothing like it would be if I was using ink cartridges. And you know, I'm trying to prep for the future. I want to leave some form of an earth for the kids, so you know, I'm doing what I can, and I like to business it up, I guess you call it, as environmentally friendly as I can. So yeah, where was I going with that? I'm off on a tangent. I'm good at that. I'm very good at tangents. I've been experimenting a bit too with packaging options. So let me show you. These really neat little boxes. Unfortunately, they weigh a lot. They weigh almost 50 grams on their own. So it's been a bit of a conundrum. So I've been experimenting a lot with reinforcing, and you know, like, I mean, even Carla mentioned it, that there's something going on in America in particular where packages are coming from all over the world, but they're being damaged, and it happens in Australia too. So far I've been pretty lucky, and I don't think I've had any, have I, in Australia? But yeah, unless you pay an absolute fortune for your shipping, postal services don't seem to give two hoots about it. So there is the potential for damage. Now, I do absolutely everything I can, and there's even a video of where I tried to purposefully break one of my Krakens, and it took a lot to break it. So, you know, I use the padded bags, and I look for the most cost-effective way of shipping. I'm not a big business like, you know, all the big ones like Amazon, for example, who can do free shipping. Unfortunately, being a small business, I have to charge for shipping, but I only ever charge what it costs me to send it. I don't make any money on it. So, you know, I go 3 times a week and do shipping, and I'm literally charging what it costs. So this is going to be the way of the future for us, I think, for overseas, because out of everything I've tried, I like these the most. So shipping will go up, unfortunately, because it puts me in the next weight category, but it's still a lot cheaper than forking out over 20 bucks for the tracking and insurance. So, you know, I try and offer people lots of options, because, you know, you need choice. Everybody needs choice, and I don't want to funnel people or force people into one particular way of shipping. So choice is paramount. So you've got that in both Etsy and the website. There's choice. So I think this will be the way of the future. So I'm pretty excited to share that. For the record though, they come flat packed, and I have to build them myself, and I now have a template because apparently I suck at building boxes. It's going to take me a while to get a hang of it, and I have 200 to build. So, not my forte! Well, yeah, other than that, I've been pretty social over these school holidays, which is weird for me. I'm normally a bit of a hermit. I just want to sit around home and cross stitch, but I've been getting out a lot and seeing a lot of people and actually being spontaneous, which isn't me at all either. I was as a kid, and then I found myself in a place that wasn't good for me, and I ended up suffering from very severe depression and anxiety that was diagnosed as such. Could have made my life easier if I had taken the medications on offer, but I didn't. I wanted to try and fight through it. So I did. There was a lot of damage done emotionally, and I feel like we've been here over 2 years now in a good place, and I really feel like I'm finally in the best place I can be, and I'm no longer discounting myself as a person. I'm giving myself all the value that I feel I'm worth, and life's been really good, and I'm coming out of my shell, and I feel really happy. Like, it's been a bit life-changing for me. I even do a bit of yoga. Don't watch me though, I'm terrible at it. My daughter does it with me, and she farts every time we do it together, so it's a bit gross. But that's family yoga for you, I suppose, doing it with young children. She's so charming. Yeah, so I've been doing a little bit of that, and you know, I think 2019 is going to be a really good year for us. I've got that vibe. So we've got that going on. So anyway, I'm not going to hold you up any longer. I don't know how long I've been blabbing for, but I feel like it's been forever. I'm looking for a time, but I can't see one. But I've been blabbing for a while, so I'd love to hear from you all. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, give us a like and a comment below, and just take it easy and happy stitching. And I look forward to showing you some updates on my skull, and maybe I'll have even done this one. I mean, let's be honest, it could be months before I do another video anyway, so if I haven't done those patterns by then, there's something wrong with me. That's pretty much as good as it gets. So guys, thanks for watching and happy stitching, and we'll catch you on the flip side. See you guys.